I'm Marianne Baber. I am originally from Caracas, Venezuela. So me and my family moved to the States when I was 2 years old. I'm married to John Baber and we've got a sweet 17-month-old baby. He is the campus minister for RUF at UNC Charlotte, and I work in sports and entertainment marketing. I grew up in Norman, Oklahoma, to an immigrant family, and a lot of things that you would consider as far as being an immigrant were definitely true for me. So we were kind of lower socioeconomic. My parents were working a lot. My parents didn't speak great English. They still spoke English, but it was definitely broken, and so that made it harder for me to just communicate with things that are basic, like school teachers. And I kind of ended up having to be the primary communicator in a lot of ways for my family. Honestly, I had a really great family experience. We didn't have a lot of money, but we were really close. We were very celebratory as far as like holidays and birthdays. We went all out. I always complain about John, my husband's Christmas with his family, because I think it's so much more boring than mine. Our family was really nominally Catholic. We weren't really at church every Sunday or anything like that. Really, the only thing I associated Jesus and God with was Catholic school and rules and having to do Mass on every Thursday. I started hearing about more of like the gospel and who Jesus is, and that he actually is interested in a relationship with me at all in middle school. So a random college student came to our campus, our middle school campus, and was like, "Hey, do you want to be my friend?" It was really random, but as an immigrant girl who was just trying to fit in, I was like, "Sure." And it ended up being a Young Life leader. So she invited me to Young Life, and that kind of became part of my life of going to Young Life Club and hearing about Jesus, hearing the gospel. Through that, I would work at all the Young Life camps during the summer. But my life was definitely two drastic pictures of working Christian summer camps, but then during the year I was doing all kinds of partying and raging and trying to fit in with my high school group as well. So definitely lived kind of two different dichotomies. I think that one of the things that I look back on is I realized that nobody really pushed me on or told me that there was more to Jesus than just believing. I was like, well, yeah, I believe in Jesus. So I thought that was really it. So after my freshman year of college is when I really started to realize that I need God, and I don't need him in a way that is just passive. And so I kind of went really, really all in to God. I was going to multiple Bible studies every week. During this time, my family, throughout our whole time in Norman, they have been going through immigration proceedings and just trying to adjust their status to legal permanent residence in the U.S. But during this time, basically my entire family got notice that we were denied and that we had 90 days to leave the country. So that was definitely, in a lot of ways, earth-shattering. I had grown up in Norman, Oklahoma my whole life, and that was all I knew. And then to find out that both me and my family were going to have to up and leave the country, was just crazy. At the time, I was dating my summer camp boyfriend, John. I was a sophomore in college, and so I didn't really have a choice in the matter. So 90 days later, we were on a plane to Caracas, Venezuela, which I had not been to since I was born. So I always talk about that as the hardest but the best 2 years of my life. Whenever you kind of go through something like this, but also whenever you're in a foreign country that's 2% Christian, you have really no choice but to super rely on God. So that was, again, best 2 years, but the hardest 2 years of my life. Huge culture shock. I didn't know anything about Venezuelans except for the little bit that I grew up with my parents. But it did explain a lot about me and them. And I was also able to really dig in, again, just me and God and the Bible, and super formative for my faith. I got involved with a missionary church plant there. And then about 2 years later, I moved back because at that point, John and I were engaged. And really, we went through the whole like fiance visa process. It was the only way I would even be able to move back here. John and I ended up getting married in January of 2014. And we were 21 years old. We had no idea what we were doing. We were both arrogant and had issues in our own ways. Yeah, so 9 years later, God is still at work, and I think that that's the theme that we love to really rely on as far as RUF and in our lives is like God is at work always, even when you don't see it and when you don't feel it. That's kind of like the mantra that we try to remind ourselves. So I'm kind of entering this weird new space where we're parents now, and we've got a cute little 1-year-old baby boy who I honestly didn't realize how much being a parent would be just a joy and a blessing. So I'm just so grateful. During this time, I've just been so surprised by how our kids, or at least my one kid, just teaches me every day. And I'm able to see God in him so much. And so I've just been really blown away by God at work in my life right now. And just the joy that it is to be able to walk with him throughout his understanding of the world, his understanding of God. But yeah, so I'm just like in this parenthood phase. I cry about everything now because I think that's just a mom thing. I'm just so thankful to God, and I've been growing and learning so much and trying to love college students through it. But yeah, just inviting people into the mess and chaos that is my life and being able to show them how God is at work through it. It's been really joyful for me.